Yes, lads and ladies, welcome back to Lily White Lane. Hope you're all okay. Hope you're all doing well. And today we're going to be previewing the round of 32 clash between Tottenham Hotspur and Wolfsberger. But before we get into the video, make sure if you're new here to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button as hard as you possibly can, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So Tottenham Hotspur are set to take on Wolfsberger Thursday evening in the Europa League round of 32 in our first leg clash. Now this is a game that I cannot wait for. It's a game that we should be winning, and it's a game I think we will win. So my score prediction has to be 5-0 Tottenham Hotspur. But for me, when it comes to our lineup, it has to be our full strength lineup. We can't go for a rotational squad. We have to play our best team possible. So if you ask me, this game is more important than the one on Sunday against West Ham. This game is more important than any of our Premier League games for the rest of the season. And I'll explain exactly why, right? Our best chance of getting a massive trophy, a major trophy this season, is the Europa League. You know, we're not even in the Champions League. We're out of the FA Cup. We did get knocked out by Everton last Wednesday. So I think if we're in the Carabao Cup final, if we win that's absolutely fantastic. But, you know, if we brought Jose Mourinho in for games like these, we brought Jose Mourinho in for the big competitions, the Europa Leagues, the Champions Leagues, the Premier Leagues, the FA Cups. So for me, this game is absolutely crucial. And for me, this game is bigger than Sunday's game. So let's get straight on to the predicted lineup. For me, starting in goal, there's only one person and one person only, and that's Hugo Lloris. I don't think we will be starting Joe Hart. I'd be surprised if we did see Joe Hart, but then again, if we did play Joe Hart, that means we're saving Hugo Lloris for Sunday. Hugo, he needs a little bit of rest, to be fair. He's been playing a lot of games, but we have to start him in this game, and I think we rest him for Sunday's game and honestly play Joe Hart. I definitely played Gazzaniga if we had him for this game, but the issue is we don't have Gazzaniga. We loaned him out for no reason whatsoever when we could have sold him. Now, this is where it gets confusing for me, right? We don't want the player. We're not going to play the keeper. We're not going to play the player. Yet you loan him out. You loan him out for a keeper who's near his retirement years, yet you loan him out. Why did you not just sell him? That's just confusing for me. It's just beyond me. But if you ask me, Hugo starts in goal. Now, when it comes to our defence, left back, you've only really got one option, and that's Ben Davies. Now, for me, there's no doubt about it. Davies isn't good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. He's not good enough for the Premier League, let alone Tottenham Hotspur. He got spun six times by Raheem Sterling against Manchester City. And he's the reason we did concede 3 goals, because Sterling spun him 6 times when Sterling was on the side of Tanganga. He didn't get spun whatsoever because Tanganga had him remain. Tanganga stayed with him the entire time. Yet once he moved Sterling over to the side of Ben Davies, and I thought that was really, really tactical, like genius from Pep Guardiola in that game. But if you ask me, Ben Davies has to start left back. The only real other option is Dennis Serkin, and he's way, way too young, and I don't think we will start him. If it was my lineup, I'd without a doubt start him in this game, but it's my predicted lineup. It's what I think will happen. It's what I think and what players I think we will start in this game. So for me, Ben Davies starts at left back. As of our 2 centre-halves, it's a frustrating one. So for me, if I was a manager, I know exactly who would I pick, right? So for me, it would have to be Toby Alderweireld. There's no doubt about it. Toby's starting this game. We rested him on Saturday against Manchester City. I don't know if we were resting him or simply not playing him because Jose didn't think he was good enough. But Toby, for me, has to start in this game. You know, he didn't play on Saturday. He's had loads of rest, and I think he's the right man to play in this game. Who comes next to him, though? For me, it has to be Joe Rodon. So for me, I think Toby and Rodon, because Davinson Sanchez and both Eric Dyer played on the weekend. Eric Dyer gave his all, and he actually didn't slip up. He actually did quite well on the weekend. We conceded 3 goals, and Sanchez, I mean, that one explains itself. He fell flat on his face and cost us that 3rd goal for Gundogan. I get Gundogan's a good player, but like falling flat on your face and what was he actually trying to do? He looked like he was trying to stop it with his head. It's just idiotic. But for me, I'd have to start Joe Rodon in this game. I think Rodon, he's been under quite a lot of pressure recently after making a couple mistakes, a couple slip-ups before. But I look at him as he's a young player. He's got loads of years to come. And I think he's absolutely fantastic. But we could be sitting here, like I've said in a lot of my streams and a lot of my videos before, with Milan Skriniar. So you've only really got one option, and that's Joe Rodon for me. And he sits next to Toby Alderweireld as our 2 centre-halves. As of right back, there's no question whatsoever about it. Jeffet Tanganga. Tanganga, for me, without a doubt, starts in this game. He's our best right back possible. And here's exactly why, right? Serge Aurier, he's a decent enough right back. But should he be playing this game? No, I think we play Serge Aurier on Sunday and Tanganga in this game. And I'll explain exactly why, right? Serge Aurier under Pochettino was always a backup. He was always a backup. Whether it was Kyle Walker, he was a backup for Walker. And then he moved on to being a backup for Trippier. And then he had to play because he was the only option left on our board. Didn't invest in a top tier new right back. They didn't invest in a new right back like Pochettino wanted. So in Pochettino's last year, Serge Aurier had to play. And for me, he's a very on and off player. There's no consistency whatsoever with him, a bit like our team. But for me, he doesn't start in this game because he gives away way too many fouls. And that's how these smaller teams, for example, Wolfsberger, can capitalise on us. We saw it in the group stage against Lask. You know, individual errors, these Europa League teams love capitalising on individual errors. And you've got to think this is their World Cup final, Wolfsberger, a small Austrian team playing Tottenham Hotspur, as we call them, a massive team from England. The way we're going, we're not a massive team anymore because there's no investment whatsoever. Their team over in Austria probably gets more investment from their board than we do from Levy, Enoch and Joe Lewis. But for me, Tanganga starts at right back. He's young, he's fresh. He looked really good on Saturday. And it's so unlucky we conceded 3. And even Jose said in his press conference after, this guy is the future. Like, he's absolutely fantastic. We played him last season under Pochettino and Jose. He excelled. So for me, he starts in this game. Moving on to midfield, I think we need to give Højbjerg a rest. Now, it's frustrating, this one for me as well, because we all know that Højbjerg is our best midfielder. And without a doubt, you know, better than anyone else in that midfield area. But for me, he's made a lot of mistakes recently, and I'll let him off because I know he'll beat himself about it. But dropping him for this game, I think if you drop him for this game, for the rest of the season, he will go out there and he'll want to give it his all. He always wants to go out there and give it his all, but if you drop him for this game, he'll want to go out there for the rest of the season and give it absolutely everything he can possibly give for the team, for Jose Mourinho, for these players, and for Tottenham Hotspur. So for me, he doesn't start in this game. And I know this is going to frustrate a lot of Tottenham Hotspur fans, but Winks starts in this game for me. Winks, he's been dropped for a while. You know, he's a homegrown boy and he'll want to give his all for his own team that he supports. If he doesn't, then for me, that's Winks over. That's his career done. I don't ever want to see him in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt again. I mean, a lot of people are saying that after the Everton game, but for me, he's simply not good enough. But as I say, he has to start in this game for me. And next to him, you know, I'm not even sure if Reguilon will be fit for this game because there's rumours that Reguilon could be starting left back. I really hope he can, because if Reguilon starts left back, there's no two ways about it. If Reguilon's fit again, we're going back to form, because I didn't realise how much of a miss Reguilon is until we actually miss him, until he actually gets injured. And it goes to show he's so crucial to our team. So for me, Davey starts at left back, as I said. I did defence. Winks there. Next to him in midfield, I'd have to go with Tanguy and Dombele. This guy needs to start no matter what for me. We still need that creativity. We still need goals from midfield, so Tanguy starts for me. And moving up the pitch, ooh, this is another tough one. Do we start? Now, this is where the questions come in for me, because if we're not going to play Højbjerg, we're going to play Winks, we're going to play Tanguy, and who else have we really got? Because Gio's out injured, so it's a little confusing for me. But I would have to go with Moussa Sissoko for me. We still need to hold up midfield, hold up play. Moose has been dropped for a couple of games. I don't know why, because he's a crucial part to our team. And it goes to show, earlier in the season when Sissoko was on form, he dominated our club. And he loves Tottenham Hotspur. A massive news story coming out today as well. Sissoko is going to sign a new contract until 2024, I believe. So I think it's absolutely fantastic that he's a great player. He got basically our player of the year last time. I only think he's got 2 or 3 years left at the top, basically, of his prime, of his career, basically, because he is aging. So for me, Sissoko does start in this game. Moving on to up top, I mean, there's only real one man, Harry Kane. I wouldn't start Vinicius. You need Kane to start. It's a knockout game, for crying out loud. I know it's round of 32 in the Europa League, and we are playing a team that barely anyone's heard of, a Farmers Club. But we need to start him, man. We need to start Harry Kane. So Kane starts for me with Sonny on the left wing. And as of the right wing, I can't start Gareth Bale. It frustrates me how he's smiling on the bench without getting game time. So Moura starts there for me. Nevertheless, this has been your video, guys. Thank you for watching. And as always, come on, you Lily Whites.